Hello everyone and welcome back to the video series on MegaMinds, where we're covering the features of the platform. In this video we will be covering student projects, which is the way that you let your students build. So this is for creativity, project-based learning, and activities that you can design yourself as well. So if you're not familiar with student projects, you're not familiar with the concept, or the dashboard looks unfamiliar to you, I recommend going back a couple videos to just get familiar with those concepts before we dive into it. So I'm on the student projects page in the dashboard, and there's really only one thing that I can do here, which is to click new student project. So I'm going to click that in the top right corner, and there's a couple of choices that we need to make with a new student project. In this case, I already have an idea of what I want my students to do. I want them to build a room based on the Napoleonic Wars, and I want them to just demonstrate their knowledge. So you have the first choice that you have here is to use an empty room. So that means your students are going to start from scratch. They're not going to have anything in the room. It's going to be a blank canvas for them to start adding their own stuff. You can also choose existing room, which if I click this and I click next, it will ask me to browse my own rooms. This allows you to make a room and put placeholders in there and put like instructions and examples, and you can even make your own games or activities in there. And it allows your students to then start from there. So they will use your room as a template. The easiest one is to just use an empty room, but if you feel like you want to make it a little bit more fleshed out, you can also use an existing room. I'm going to make an empty room for this example. So I'm going to click next. And I already have an idea of what I want my students to do, which is to demonstrate knowledge on the Napoleonic Wars. So the second step here, you need to choose a design. So it helps to have an idea of what you want to do. We have different designs here. We have a huge science lab space. We have a modern classroom, which is like super versatile. We have office hours, which is like peaceful, kind of smaller space. And we have some like labyrinth and big outdoor space with the building. So there's a lot to choose from here, but I'm just going to go with modern classroom. Super simple little room, like a back room. So yeah, I'm just gonna choose that and hit next. And here is the project name. This will be your identifier. So whatever system you want to use to keep track of your student projects, I'm just gonna call it like Napoleonic Wars student projects grade 10A. So this will just help me. You can add the grade, or you can add the whatever you want in there, really. You can call it whatever. Instructions is what your students are going to see. So when your students join when they make their own room after you send them the link, these instructions will always be in the top right of your student's point of view. So this will be very nice for writing something. I'm just going to tell them to section the room according to important events and highlight key events, important people, and geographical aspects. So that's my instructions for my students. This will show up in every single room that your students are making. The last option that we can choose is if your students are going to be doing this on their own, individually, or if they're going to go together and build a room together as a group. So the only thing that this will really change is when you send the link out, they either, if you have individual, they will write their own name. If you have group, they will create a group room or join an existing one. So this just simplifies things. You don't have to do anything. The interface just slightly changes if it's a group or an individual. So I'm just going to use individual for now, and I'll show you group later. when we get one from the Explore page, student project from the Explore page. So individual, I'm gonna hit create project. Will take a couple seconds and should show up here. So we're still in the student project tab. So now we have a student project here. You can see the instructions that you wrote. And we have two options, share or view. So we're gonna start by sharing this out with our students. So I'll click share. And you might be familiar with this from the rooms. This is basically the same thing. You have a link here, and that's the thing that you share. So if I open this link, you can see I'm prompted with your name. So I'm gonna write Edward here. I'm going to click create. So this is the student's point of view, right? We just opened the link, and now I have my own room called Edward. So this is my room now, and it's blank because we didn't base it off a template. We just chose empty room, and I can start adding stuff in here. I can start adding text. So text here. Can make it red or something. Add to room. Can add GIFs. I can do my thing now, right? I can browse models for like Napoleon or something. You know, I can make. I'm not sure if this is the right Napoleon, but I can make my room now, and the instructions will always be up top here. And you as a teacher, so back to the teacher point of view, if I click view student rooms here, and I click load new rooms, you can see that Edward has made a room. I just closed it, so there's nobody active. You can visit the room from here. You can also delete the rooms if someone wants their room deleted, or if they're accidentally made a duplicate or something. So here you can track all of the rooms that your students are making. So very simple. You share this link with as many students as you want. You can just put it straight on Google Classroom, invite 100 students into this. They will all get their own room, isolated from each other. So I'll quickly make a group room as well, so you can see the interface there. Group room example. And you don't have to write instructions. You can leave it blank. If you use a template, for example, you might not need duplicate instructions. So made a group room. I'm just gonna open the link here so you can see the different interface. So here now, instead of writing my name, I'll write a group name, and it will also ask me to join an existing group. So here students can just jump into their group, or they can create a new group, and it will be the same process from there. They will also show up on student rooms here. It will show up instead of Edward, it's just gonna say group 1 or awesome cool group, or whatever they decided to call the group. The second way to use student projects here is to grab them from the Explore page. So we have made some really cool student projects here. We have, for example, build your own haunted house. This was like super popular during Halloween. We have Makerspace bundle with like create a historical presentation, create your own gallery, dream house, a lot of stuff here. So let's just use the gallery, create your own gallery. Let's say I want my students to make their own gallery. I click new student project, and I can choose if it's gonna be in groups or individual. I can just choose groups this time, I guess. And I click add to student projects. And it says here, a new student project was added to the student project page. So I can click on this, and now you can see we have create your own gallery here. I can click share, open this. I'll just write like awesome, cool group. So this is your student's point of view after they click your link. And I'll have awesome, cool group here. And so this will be our room. There's already content here because this is someone who made this room as a that your students can use. So your students can just go in here and follow the instructions, start replacing things, removing things, adding things to this room. So in this example, we have, think about what you'll exhibit, write a statement about what we can look forward to, and invite others, and think of ways to keep your gallery interesting in the future, things like that. So this is already like a complete experience basically. And if I go back here, I can, as a teacher, you can click view student rooms and we'll load the new ones, and you can see here awesome cool group, and there's one active student because there's one person in the room. So here as well, you can go and visit all of the group rooms from this menu, and you can also delete them. There is one last thing. Let's say you want to, you find a cool experience on the marketplace. So let's say create an immersive story. You like this, but you want to make like a couple changes to it before you send it out. There's a button here called Remix, and Remix will basically take the template and put it in your rooms page. So I can actually add this to my rooms. So if I go to rooms, you can see here we have create an immersive story, and I can then go in, make edits, remove things or add things that I think should be in there that wasn't there from the thing on the explore page. And when I'm happy with it, I can go back to student projects, I can click new student project, I can use existing room, and I can choose create an immersive story. So this allows you to remix things from the explore page. So you can take any room from here. So even let's say things that are usually considered a single room experience, like personal finance, for example, you can technically add it to your rooms and then use it as a student project. So that allows you to distribute this to every single one of your students, and they will have their own experience. So that's the basics of the student projects. So I hope this was useful. We've made 3 different student projects here, and I hope that was useful. So I'll see you in the next tutorial video.